Thank you very much, Master of Ceremonies. Your Excellency, Sir Cuthbert Sebastian, Governor General, the Honourable Dr. Denzil L. Douglas, Prime Minister, the Honourable Sam Condor, Deputy Prime Minister, and Mrs. Condor, and other members, Ministers of Government and members of the Cabinet, and your spouses, Your Lordship, Honourable Justice Francis Bell and Mrs. Bell, the Honourable Curtis Martin, Speaker of the National Assembly, Deputy Premier of the Nevis Island Administration, the Honourable Hensley Daniel and Mrs. Daniel, other members of the Nevis Island Administration, members of the Diplomatic Corps, friends, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I consider it a signal honour to have been invited to address this annual Prime Minister's Gala, particularly at the time of your 25th anniversary of independence, or in the year of your 25th anniversary. I do so first in my capacity as Prime Minister of Barbados, and secondly in a capacity which I hope you will bestow upon me tonight as a friend of St. Kitts and Nevis and as a colleague of your distinguished Prime Minister. There are some persons in life that you cannot say no to, and Prime Minister Denzil Douglas is pretty close to the top of my list. And therefore, when one of the most respected, experienced, and longest-serving leaders in this region invites you to his gala as a guest speaker, it is, for me, an opportunity not to be missed. Beyond that, I have fond love for St. Kitts, and of course this Marriott Hotel. And this hotel has been the scene of one of our best family vacations so far. So I am both happy and relieved that the organizers have forged ahead with this event, particularly in this year. Though physically in attendance for the first time, I am familiar with the structure of this activity, and its repeated success has been relayed to me via mutual friends. I am happy that the organizers have not fallen victim to the fear of recession, and I am relieved that there is another administration in the Caribbean willing to confront the anticipated harmful effects of the global economic recession head-on. Ladies and gentlemen, I read carefully the New Year's Day message of your distinguished leader, and I concur with his perspective that small island economies such as ours are ideally placed to ride out and or to surmount the challenges that confront us. A footnote to that, however, is that it will take courage, tenacity, and determination to make it happen. Experience such as that amassed by your government over the past 14 years should also serve to give that added advantage and enhance your chances of success. And you can help others too. In fewer than 20 days, President-elect Barack Obama will take the oath of office during his historic inauguration. He will be the 44th President of the United States. There are those who say that President Obama has already delivered meaningfully to the world. He had the audacity of hope, and he dared to believe. And those qualities alone have distinguished him. He has inspired the world, and his inauguration on January the 20th is already serving as a beacon to light the path of other world leaders. But those of us who have been around in politics in one form or another long enough would not be so gullible as to expect a pipeline of gold to flow from Washington as a result of the inauguration of President Obama. Indeed, this region's most recent experience with democratic administrations in the United States of America has been less than flattering. But we have come of age, and we seek neither handouts nor hand-ups. We request mutual respect and an acknowledgement of shared interests. We look to the new administration in Washington for an expression of interest, an attitude of understanding, and a display of sensitivity. And that is what we seek, and that is what this region deserves. We are fortunate that some of us would have cultivated friendships and relationships with key members of this new administration over the years. Both your Prime Minister and I have cherished relationships with key policymakers in the Congressional House and Senate. I am also aware that your Prime Minister in particular has the air of someone not so far removed from the nominated Secretary of State. It is in times like these that experience and networks count. It can also make a lot of difference when you can tell Washington, or you can call and say, this is so-and-so, I need an audience with X or Y to help solve my country's problems. And even though President Obama may not know a great deal about St. Kitts and Nevis at this time, he has sitting pretty close to him an Attorney General with roots in Barbados and a Secretary of State whose husband has deemed this country, your country, and its leader having a profound impact in his post-White House experience. I believe that your Prime Minister's record of association and the hard work he has done in relation to the global pandemic of HIV/AIDS will serve this country in good stead as it seeks to consolidate its development in the short and medium term. That is a potential and an opportunity that citizens of this country ought not to trivialize. Some weeks ago I addressed the Miami conference and used as the backdrop of my remarks a paraphrase of Charles Dickens' seminal work, which said the following: "These times are the best of times, the worst of times, the age of wisdom, the age of foolishness, the epoch of belief, the epoch of incredulity, the season of light and the season of darkness, the spring of hope and the winter of despair." Dickens was at that time talking about the French Revolution, another time of great upheaval with transformational consequences for French and European societies. It is perhaps salutary to remind ourselves of the causes that historians ascribe to that revolution. Listen to them: the conspicuous consumption and privileged life of the nobility, inequitable taxation, the pursuit by the monarchy of multiple wars of questionable necessity, contributing to a massive national debt and the inability of the inadequate financial system to manage that debt, high unemployment and extreme climatic conditions leading to widespread famine and malnutrition, exorbitant food prices, particularly bread. Does this sound vaguely familiar to you? And what was the response by the leadership of the day? They said, let them eat cake. The situation that confronts regional and world leaders in 2009 could equally be described as the best of times and the worst of times. And as I said earlier, we've witnessed the rise of an inspired and inspiring leader of transformational potential who has energized an entire society to believe that yes, we can, and has created a movement for change that has spread a new mood of optimism far beyond America's shores. It could not have come sooner. The environments in which that change are now to be introduced, however, could hardly be less propitious. And so the people's euphoria has quickly given way to a sober realization that the catastrophic economic and financial situation confronting their new leader has no easy solution, no quick fix that will instantly deliver the promised salvation. Worse yet,